Welcome to Brilliantly British. Today I'm going to take you back to Easter. It wasn't such a long time ago, was it? But I'm sure just like me, you had a lot of lamb left over because you did exactly what I did in the episode and bought all those ingredients, right? Right, exactly. Today I'm going to show you exactly what to do with that lamb. Make this amazing pie that is delicious and, well, in this case, as you can see, is beautiful to behold. Enjoy. For today's pie, you'll need the following ingredients. You will need some lamb, some stock, some carrots, peas, some onions, some chopped celery, some chopped celeriac, some rosemary and some thyme. For the pancakes that will go within the pie, you will need some fresh mint, a garlic clove, some spinach, some milk, baking powder, some seeds. In this case, I've got pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, an egg to bind everything together. Then for your pastry, you will need an egg and another egg to egg wash it later on. You'll need some lard, some butter, some cold water, some flour, and then finally, you will need to stay hydrated whilst you cook. And as a Brit, I recommend a nice cup of hot tea. To get ourselves started with this super simple dish, we're going to put everything in at once, except for the peas. These will go in at the end. Pour in our stock. Now we want to bring this to the boil. We're going to turn the heat down. It's important as well not to put too much liquid in at the beginning. We don't want the filling to be too wet, but we also don't want it too thick because then you'll be running around looking for a sauce. Now we just want to leave this to simmer with the lid on. So this has been simmering for about 10 minutes now. It's reduced. Now this is a bit too dry for my liking, and so what I'm going to do now is add a little bit more stock, take out the thyme, take out the rosemary. So now we're going to switch the heat off and allow this to cool completely, and that's it, done. Now the first thing to do in preparation for our batter is to pick off the leaves from the mint stalks. I tell you here, the smell of fresh mint is actually beautiful. In a strange way, it reminds you of toothpaste. Got our chopped spinach here. Get yourself a knife. So in goes our milk, a little bit of oil. We're going to blend this now until it's smooth. Now what we're going to do is start to put together the batter for our pancake, and then just whisk this egg into our flour. Add this in bit by bit. Add some more. So our pancake batter is almost done now. We're going to season it. Beautiful consistency. Now our seeds, our baking powder, add some lightness to this. Now we're going to cook our pancakes. When you're making the pancakes, the crucial thing here is to make sure that the pancakes are about the same size as the tart pan. I'm going to spoon in our batter and I'm going to leave that to cook. Our pancakes are ready to flip because bubbles are starting to appear. So very gently, but with confidence, of course, just flip that over. You can very quickly test to make sure that this will fit on the base of our tart, and this looks just about right. This is cooked. In goes our second portion of butter, and now we wait. Okay, both our pancakes are cooked. What we need to do is put these to one side to cool down. Now's the time to make the pastry for our pie. First thing we're going to do when making our pastry is season our flour. Now we're going to incorporate our fat. So we've got some lard here and some butter. It is important as well to try and keep the pastry as cold as possible to give you the best results. And with your fingertips, flake this through and then just rain it down, make it rain. We're going to continue to do this until we've formed somewhat of a butter, flour, lard, dust. Doing things like this with your hands is quite therapeutic. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be incorporated. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to add in the egg. The wooden spoon makes a comeback. You'll recognize this. By the way, this is older than me. We're just going to mix this through. We don't want to mix too much because we actually don't want to develop any gluten. Gradually add splashes of water in there. We're just doing this so that we can bind this dough together. I'd say we've got just about enough liquid in there. Use a ball of pastry to clean the bowl. Apply a little bit of pressure just to make sure everything is well incorporated. On to the next step. if you roll it into a log shape, it'll make it easier to divide it in half. And we're going to put both of these into the fridge to rest and also to cool down, because it'll make it much easier to work with the pastry. If the dough is too hard to work with, like mine is, then with your hands you can just warm it up, compacting all the time, because we want to find that delicate balance between dough being cold and kept cool, but not being too cold that it's something that you just can't work with. Now this is going to be the base of our pie, so we're going to roll this out. Just be gentle with it, with time and patience. The dough will be stretched out. When rolling out, it's important to not do this. Always go in one direction, slowly and confidently. Now we're going to lay this over, so very gently. This is still quite delicate. And then with your finger bent like this, just encourage the pastry to go into the corners. Gently using the pan, cut off the excess. Keep this, going to use this for decoration. Now we're going to start to fill our pie, but just before we do that, switch your oven on so that it's nice and hot by the time this is ready to go in. We're going to take our smaller pancake and simply put that in. The reason we have a pancake is to protect the base of our pie from the moisture within the filling. Now we're going to gradually spoon in our filling. I refrigerated this. Now we're just going to sprinkle on some peas here. You just want to gently compress this down. I'm going to tidy this up by trimming around the edges of this pancake. Okay, we've rolled out the top of our pie here. Now we're going to make a nice pattern here. Tasting. Let's see how this tastes. The vegetables are still tender. The lamb, just delicious, moist. And because of the pancakes, the way they've been flavored with the spinach and the mint, you've got the mint coming through in the background. And the sauce, crisp pastry. This is an amazing way to use what would normally be just stored away in the fridge. This is delicious, delicious. Try this yourself, please. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Hopefully you feel inspired to make this dish. And I hope by now you're starting to develop a change of mind regarding British food, because that is the purpose of this channel. Leave your comments below as well and let me know what dishes you would like to see. If you like this episode, click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time. Hopefully you feel inspired to make this dish with what? Yeah, with lamb. Make this dish with lamb. Yeah, where's my Starbucks?